Hello, ladies, gentlemen, everybody inside and outside of the gender spectrum. Welcome back to Stardom Quest Gold, the best weekly Stardom and Marigold podcast anywhere in the world. I'm as always Alex, and I'm joined by Dylan. Hi, Dylan.
Hi, Alex. Hi, everybody. I am missing my best friend's birthday dinner for this, so it better be good. Oh, wait, it's not. Hina lost, and I am upset. Uh, we're here talk about the Cinderella Tournament. I have watched too many matches. Um, yeah, it's what it's been 25 matches so far.
How's it really?
It has.
I haven't
Oh,
even.
20. No. 25 is including Hanako versus Yuria.
All right, okay.
Yawn, by the way. Um, Yeah, I was gonna say an uneven number. That doesn't really make sense, but no, it does because there were draws, so it could have been. But yeah, 24 matches so far. Um, three more to go. It's been a tournament, all right. Actually, I'll say not a bad tournament. There was some good here actually.
Came at the worst week because we had like the most loaded week of women's wrestling ever. um, I
I
was
mean,
trying to
for
fit
you,
in. I was trying to fit in the Eve Friday show, and then the CMLL all women's show, and then the Cinderella, and it all got on top of me. I won't lie to you.
I
I was very happy when I found out Marigold wasn't uploading until tomorrow because I was like, okay, I only have one show on Wednesday. We're good.
it
Um,
was yeah, I went to watch the Eve show, and just at that exact moment, Will Ospreay tweeted, and I was like, and I I closed my laptop real quick. Um,
don't believe you.
Yeah, no, I've been I have not like I've just watched Cinderella. I haven't been watching basically anything else. Um
Okay.
this past week. Yeah, last week I watched New Beginning USA, but I haven't even started like the New Japan Cup or anything.
Whoa.
Um
Okay.
Glate ran a show that I actually wanted to watch, a UWF show.
Mm,
Looked pretty fun. Um yeah, I haven't really watched anything. So
okay.
a lot of Cindy. A lot of
Um,
Cinderella
I
Cinderella.
I fit in all this wrestling whilst also trying to, watch the pit. Nobody's doing it like me.
I mean,
Weird.
I've been watching through Desperate Housewives. I'm on season 5
Sounds fun.
with my mother. Started watching like 3 weeks ago now. So yeah, we've been those are 24 episode seasons too. These are
Oh,
old school.
okay, that's good.
So
I like
yeah,
that.
so I've watched over 100 episodes at this point of Desperate Housewives, or almost 100. Um, yeah, almost 100 episodes of that show. Pretty incredible, and
Mm.
crazy as well. Yeah, and crazy too, but pretty incredible. Fascinating show there.
Well,
Susan be rage baiting the fuck out of me though. She's just a bad person.
right. Well, there's always one.
No, it's funny because not to distract, but me and my mom have discussed it. Turns out that not only did everybody behind the scenes hate Susan's actress in real life, famously, they all despised her. But also, initially, the writer of the show wrote Susan to be like the every woman and like really sympathetic and just kind of clumsy and just like a lovable loser type of thing. But I guess his like inherent hatred for women seeped out and seeped through, and she just became like the worst person ever, the most unlikable woman ever. And it's like, if this is what you think like the every woman is, are you an incel? Like, I'm concerned about how you feel about women. Um, and so yeah, I've been dealing with that for the past 4 seasons. If anybody's seen Desperate Housewives, please join the Discord, talk to me. The Stardom Quest Gold chat is also open to Desperate Housewives conversations, if you will.
There is an off topic. So
Yeah, but this is on topic. This is on the show now,
I,
so it's on topic.
no, I disagree.
You
Um,
can't cut it.
okay, fine. Well, head on over to the 5-Stardust Network.com for all of the latest articles and podcasts from the wonderful world of pro wrestling. And head on over to the 5 Star Network YouTube channel, which is where this, as well as shows like Actress Stage and No Limit Wrestling, all go up. With the plug out of the way, though, we gotta get on to
Oh,
Stardom.
the Champions of the World March Madness will be this month.
Okay,
We will
that's
be
fine.
doing that. We drew up brackets for it.
You
So
two and Scott again.
yeah, me, Xavier, and Scott. Yeah.
Okay, all right. Stardom, busy week for Stardom. Um, I'm sure some people have seen it. Neo Genesis was over in CMLL. Micah was over in CMLL. I know the Neo Genesis tag was kind of highly rated by some people on that Friday show. But the bigger news is that in Brovland, Siri lost the New Japan Strong Women's title to Alex Windsor. So, kind of a continuation of that belt just being like a political play, basically. It's always just been like, hey, we want it to keep somebody happy. So let's go. Um, it doesn't really impact Siri because she still has the IWGP Women's title. So anything she was going to do with the Strong Women's belt, she can just do with the IWGP. So not really huge news, but might as well talk about it. Alex Windsor won it. We're kind of free of the purple belt for now. She might pop over and defend it if there's interest, but I don't really know. I don't think Tara would be too interested in flying her in just for a purple belt defense.
Well, I don't know if you noticed, he flew her in just to wrestle on house shows like a month ago. So I don't
Well,
see
her fella maybe husband was in Japan at the time, so she was probably just there and asked.
Yeah, but I don't know.
And
I think you underestimate uh how little Taro really has control of these cards anymore. I feel like they get away from him a lot. Not even like other people book him, but just like it's kind of throwing shit at the board. I mean, they had Kira here for one match. Remember that?
yeah, I
That
do.
was awesome. It was really
What?
good. But she just
Well, she had to
like, who
go and
was that? Like,
defend herself.
like in context, what the fuck happened? Like that was insane.
Did
Um,
it and then went home, as she should.
she pinned Lady C in the third match of a Korakuen show that had
Yeah.
10 matches, and then
And
went home. Like that's what I mean. Like I don't know. I think I think I think writing off the ability for Alex Windsor to come through uh is a fool's errand in my opinion.
I guess I just don't see why they would go out of their way to do it. But it's whatever. Um, but yeah, that's all the news from Stardom. That is applicable. I'm sure. So if you have any strong thoughts on the Strong Women's Championship, be sure to let us know. Um, we're going to start our review with day one of the Cinderella Tournament. This was in the Chunichi Hall. They did a sellout 560 fans for this one. We opened the tournament with Rian beating Yunus and Mori in just under 8 minutes. This was a result we kind of expected to happen, so they could do a high speed title match, which was eventually set up when Rian got out of the tournament. This was a good opener. I think it was a nice way to kick off the show.
Yeah, it was admittedly kind of funny, because I saw this match, and it was good. I liked it. It was a good start, like you said. But I thought that this was the title match that was happening on the Korakuen, so I was excited. Um,
All right.
when I think you said like, oh, like there's a title match and then tournament matches on the Korakuen that we got to watch. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. Unimon versus Rion, that's cool. And then it was not that, so I was a bit bummed. Cause yeah, this was a good match. I liked it. I think Rion had a fun run, all things
Mhm.
considered.
She did.
Uh, and yeah, no, I think this is like a very fitting high speed title match for sure.
All right. Aya Sakura beat Fukigen Death in just under 5 minutes in her next match. Fukigen continues to be potentially the most over thing on most of these shows. Aya was getting heat for stopping the Fukigen bits. And, it was a fine sub 5 minute match.
Yeah, I have nothing on this one.
That's fair. Rani Agami beat Waka Tsukiyama in 7 minutes. First of all, why? And second, it was fine. I think they made the butt stuff from Waka feel a little bit more uh better, I guess. Rana sells it a bit better, but also her trying to like counter it was neat. It was this little Waka butt match, which are never good, but it was a better variant, I guess.
Yeah, I didn't like this.
Okay,
I feel like with Waka, how long did this go? You have the time on this?
7 minutes.
How many? 7?
Yes.
See, the thing with Waka is that it's like the first like 2 minutes, 3 minutes are usually fun, and then there's like 4 minutes. It's like, why is this? Why? Why? And then the match
Mhm.
ends. But like the first couple minutes, Waka's usually good. Like I always expect Like, Waka fires out the gate pretty well. Has a good like opening sprint, like maybe not sprint, but like an opening, like like fast paced exchange, a smart exchange. It's well done, and you're like, okay, Waka, let's go. And then she just loses you. At least me. She just loses me, and then I'm like, what's happening anymore? Why is this still? And it just gets worse as time goes on. So yeah, I didn't think it was too bad 'cause it only went 7 minutes, but it did go
7 minutes.
4 or 5 minutes longer than it
Yeah,
probably should have,
that's
in
totally
my
fair.
opinion.
Okay. Natsupoi beat Tabata in just under 9 minutes. This was a fun mix of styles. They did some of the like standard lucha exchanges, but then they would mix it with Natsupoi trying to counter. Um, and then Natsupoi was just being a bit of an arsehole, which is always fun. So I thought this was a good little match.
I thought this was an interesting one.
Yeah,
I didn't like love it like just bell to bell, but I did think that just like Natsupoi kind of like I don't know, like Natsupoi trying to do like Yave and shit or like deal with Yave was kind
yeah.
of funny. I was like, what are we like? This is great. Like I don't know. I just never thought I would see the day, even though she did become Tekker Natsupoi there for a minute. Um, it just was like kind of
Remember
like
Armwork
shocking, and it was,
Natsupoi?
huh?
Remember Armwork Natsupoi?
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about right there. Which to be fair, like I was a non-believer then, and I still am. That it was, I still believe it was crazy for her to experiment with that when she was Wonder of Stardom champion. Like do that before you win the belt, in my opinion. But it's made her a better wrestler now because her arm bars are protected, like or are like feel
Mm,
legitimate. They feel like they matter. So when she gets an arm bar in the late stages of a match, like that Sayaka Kamitani match last year, I felt like it was Natsupoi just being Natsupoi and being good. But once she got the arm bar, and it was like, oh, this is actually a move that matters. It's not just Hanako's her Boston Crab, which feels like it takes 25 minutes and is bad every time. Um, doesn't doesn't work for me. Like I think at least Natsupoi has the armbar now. It feels like a pretty compelling private match. This match itself was fine. I like Tabata, but I always feel like there's just something missing with her every time I see her. Like it just feels like there's like just
mm.
a lot of air where there should be more substance, I guess,
She
with
still
her.
seems very new,
Yeah,
so
she
I
feels
think
green. She feels like good, but she feels green. And I was like,
mm,
haven't you been around for a while now? So maybe I'm wrong,
I'm not
but
sure.
I should probably open the Stardom cage match. Hold on. Let's.
Well, you can, but they don't actually have the results for the most recent shows on there, as far as I'm aware. Yeah,
Yes, they do.
Tabitha's only 2 years in.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah,
I thought she was three by now.
no, she's fairly new, and I don't think she gets many like
Oh, three at
big
the end of the year.
CMLL
Okay.
reps.
She does not. I know that for a
Yeah,
fact.
even on the Friday show, post vac hair, no way.
Certainly not.
Um, but yeah, no, that was a fun one from Natsupoi. We then had Hanako and Yuri Hime going to a double countout in 10 minutes.
I love that cage match hates Hanako now. Uh,
Yeah,
like they've given up. Because every show, it's just Hanako's match rated very poorly, and the rest like fine. Which to be fair, I thought this match was bad. Like I thought this was the only
it
actively
was
bad match of the
fine.
show.
I don't know, it was fine.
Um, I thought that the title match was better, and I thought the title match
Yeah.
was pretty poor too. Um,
I think my
Not
big issue
poor.
was
It was,
this was they broke the rules because
yes, they did do that.
like Hanako fell from the top rope to the floor, and they were just like, no, that doesn't count. But in the second show, I think Yamashita took the same bump, and that was an elimination. And I was like, that's can't really get away with that one night after the next. So that was kind of the only glaring issue here was they completely messed up the finish because she did technically get eliminated and should have been out, but it's pro wrestling. But yeah, no, I thought it was okay. I think Yurihime kind of being the baby face makes the Hanako pairing work more than anything.
A little bit.
Um,
Like I think I didn't.
like
I just
insert
didn't
an
think.
offense to like
Truthfully,
fight back.
I didn't think anything worked in this match particularly well.
Well,
But I think the baby face, like I think the dynamic worked a lot better in the title match. So like
okay,
that was there for the title match, but this one, it felt like it was just like them trying to buy time, truthfully,
all
until
right.
they got to the double count out.
Well, I won't. I'm not going to die on that hill. Um, Our next match was Maki Ito beating Kikyo Furusawa in 13 minutes. I thought it was a very good match, honestly. I thought it was Maki
I
Ito's
liked it.
best showing since her debut. She
One
just
of them.
brought a lot of the good
Singles,
stuff.
singles probably.
Like there was a lot of like the good stuff that Maki brings in this one. And I thought Kikyo was kind of one of the more comfortable fits with Maki Ito. Like they just were able to really work seamlessly together because they're good at very similar stuff. And I thought the finish was very clever of like Kikyo missing the drop kick to let Ito do the Kokeshi, and then she was able to submit her. I thought that was a very clever finish. So just I thought it was definitely Ito's best performance to this point since her debut because I think she had another pretty great one after.
Yeah, no, I think that's fair. I did quite like this match, and I think Maki Ito's just run in general. Kind of, even though I think well, it was only two matches. She yeah, she skipped the next round. Because the match we'll talk about in a minute. I think
Mhm.
this match and the match she had against Hanan kind of gave me a little bit more hope for Kikyo because Maki Ito, for as much of a like as much for as funny as this is, she is like one of the more technical wrestlers
Mhm.
on the roster. Like just like she like like functionally, uh, she is a lot more ground based and a lot more submission based. And so like this match felt like one of the first times you see Kikyo like her style be complemented properly. Uh and vice versa. So I thought that this was a pretty fun match. I thought that, it got a little long there. It was the longest match on the show. So I did feel that a little bit, and I think that's just Kikyo still being green. I mean, she's she's still less than a year in. Yeah, she
Yeah.
9, 10 months in. So that makes sense. But yeah, I thought it was a fun one. It was one that kind of gave you a little bit more like hope for both of them, I guess. Just because I think it was one of the first times I saw both their styles feel fitting, feel like they like had a place in Stardom, which I think was incredibly necessary for both of them. Honestly,
Okay.
it makes sense why they're together. I mean,
Yeah.
even though like I think their them as opponents works well, like it did here, it does kind of like this did kind of make me realize that it's like, yeah, I think Kikyo and Maki being a team stylistically makes a lot of sense.
Mhm.
Um, in terms of just like training in the dojo and just whatever. Like I think they both have a relatively similar idea of wrestling. So in terms of in ring work, at least, I
Okay.
don't expect Kikyo to be doing what Ito does.
No, I don't think so.
Although I will
Um,
say Kikyo did show up to that presser wearing the fucking IRS, the fucking tie and the gimmicks, slapped her. Like, there was, there's charisma to this kid, but yeah, that was fun.
okay. Our next match was Fuachan and Soriano going to a draw, a double elimination. They rolled off the apron together after 11 minutes. I thought this was the best match of this show in particular.
I
I
thought this was the
mean,
best match of the first round overall.
well, yeah, possibly. I wouldn't
I think the
come
good
back.
matches started in round two. Like there were like a lot of good matches in round two, and then quarterfinals out uh there was a few good matches as well. But yeah, I think this was the best match of the first round.
Yeah, and it's kind of unsurprising. I mean, Soriano is kind of excellent at what she does, and then you look at Fuachan and you
Like
look
they
at the
meshed
things she
super
does
well.
well. Yeah, like Soriano being the bully and Fua getting to show a lot of heart and fighting spirit. It's kind of the perfect use of these two, and they kind of just the match flew by. I didn't think it exposed Fuachan at all. I thought she looked very good for the entire thing. Soriano was great on top as she usually is, and then she just gave Fua a lot of room to kind of show off and do what she does. So this was the best match of this show, um, and definitely another good one in Fua's cap because she's
Well,
she's a Stardom MVP to some extent. Like she's been very very good every time we've seen her.
yeah. Yeah, no, I enjoyed this match a lot. I was really happy with what we got. Uh, I don't know. I think it just kind of worked. I felt like Fua was bringing a lot of intensity, and I think Soriano kind of bounces off of that
Mm,
intensity. Like when I think the problem with Ano matches sometimes is that it's like she really is one of those gives the energy that she gets. So like if you're not like an intense wrestler, Soriano could just have a stinker with you. And not like a poorly worked match or a just like a bad match, but just like a kind of boring match. Funnily enough, I think Alex Windsor is similar in my mind of a wrestler, except Soriano's obviously a lot better. But Alex Windsor very often has good matches that are very boring. And I
mhm.
think Soriano, if she's against somebody who doesn't have the ruthless aggression, so to speak, doesn't have the tenacity, the intensity, she could have those matches. And I felt like this is the opposite of that. I felt like Fua Chen brought out she pressed every one of Soriano's buttons that was necessary to get such a great match here. Especially for the first round, because first round of Cinderella, I don't know if there's ever been like a well, there has been. It's been a while though. It's been like a legitimately great first round match of a Cinderella tournament. Um, they're very few and far between. So maybe great's a bit of a strong word here, but I thought this was like an actively good match that I would recommend people watch because it was just well worked. I mean, Fua, like I said, was pressing all on those buttons. Eventually, drew a draw, which I think is like awesome. Like that's cool. It's the best thing you could do when you're a Fua in this instance. And I just thought that was a lot of fun. So yeah, I really like this.
Okay. Um, our main event then was Hanan beating Momoko in 11.5 minutes. This is a pretty standard good Hanan match. Momokogo again kind of rose to the occasion as she tends to do as the underdog. And then Hanan's finisher looked sick. She folded Kogo with the backdrop driver. This is a good return form for Hanan. She obviously hasn't had many standouts. So this might be her first singles match since coming back. So it's kind of a nice way to ease her back in and
First
kind of
solo one
remind
for
people
sure.
of what she can do. Because there's been a lot of hatred towards Hanan lately, but she is still a talented wrestler. And her and Kogo had like a good main event here. Not as good as Fua versus Ano, but I don't think like notably worse. It just wasn't as good, you know.
Yeah, I mean it was fine. Yeah, I thought it was a good one.
Okay.
Um, yeah, I think Hanan's been performing better, but also she hasn't been like she never was bad. Well, the 5 star was pretty bad. Um, she's had 2 bad 5 stars in a row. First one wasn't her fault. Second one was, and it's crazy because like her first 5 star, she was like great. She was one of the MVPs
Yeah.
because she was just going, she was bouncing off the walls. Crazy, crazy, crazy what politics will do to you. But yeah, I don't know. It's a this was a fun match. I liked it. I thought that they worked well together. Obviously, I thought Momokogo looked good here. I have obviously been a bit lower on Momokogo more recently because I'm kind of like I just think she's plateaued really aggressively. But I thought this was a good match that I found a lot of bright spots out of both of their games here. So I was happy with it.
Mm, okay. We then got on to our second show of the first round on the 7th of March, once again in Chunichi Hall with a 560 attendance. Oh gosh. Um, we opened with Smoke Inaba beating Ane Kanaya in 7 minutes in a good opener.
Yeah,
I
good.
think Ane has looked a lot better before. They could probably have a better match if they went for it again. But you know, they're two talented wrestlers, so they made it work.
Yeah, that was a solid one. That was
Yeah.
fine.
You would expect a bit better though, I think, when you look at
Probably.
two
Yeah.
names. That's kind of
Um.
the only thing.
Yeah. No, I would agree.
Um, Azusa Inaba beat Lady C in 8 minutes in our next match. This was a good match. You know, Lady
Yeah.
C was good. Azusa Inaba is always a good match. Lady C, I noticed her gear had like her name written.
There was
Um,
just a bunch of C's on the pants.
yeah, but like the Lady C was written on like
Mhm.
the edges of her tights and the sports bra as well. It was very neat.
I
Um,
like her gear.
yeah,
I
it's
like
good.
Lady C.
Yes, she is
I
good.
think I'm at that point where I'm like, I feel like She's too good for what we're doing. Um,
She's the kind of
which
wrestler who, if she left, she'd have, like, the craziest indie freelance.
yeah, like I don't know. I feel like if she went literally anywhere else, I feel like she'd pretty easily be like a title contender or
Mhm.
like a tag champion. You know what I mean? Because she is really good, but she's really kind of typecast, I guess,
Well,
to
she
where she's
came up
at.
through the training system before a dojo, so I don't think she's has any indications of leaving.
No, yeah, she's a mark. So yeah, I don't know. I enjoyed this match quite a bit. I also, I brought this up. I feel like with Azusa, or I didn't bring this up. I was talking to Scott and Xavier about it actually. The thing with Azusa is that I feel like I see her pretty exclusively in hate tags.
Mhm.
Um, and usually the B side hate tags,
Yeah.
like the B team of the Korakuen, so to speak, or
Mhm.
the B team of the show that I'm watching. And so I haven't really like I forget how good she is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because like this was very good. I think her match against Hina was awesome. That we'll talk
Mhm.
about in a minute. I feel like I just forget how much I like Azusa because it's like she's always getting in for like 30 seconds in a tag alongside Konami and Fukigen Death and Ruaka and Natsuko. You know what I mean? Like that's all she does. It feels like. So when you get to see her and well, that's not all she does. She obviously wrestles in JTO, but somebody, Mr. Taka Michinoku, doesn't doesn't be fucking putting that shit nowhere. So I don't be watching it. Um so yeah, I don't get to see her be like really good very often. So this is a treat for me, because her and Lacey are two wrestlers I quite like.
Yeah. Also worth noting, Sayaka Kamitani had to cost Lady C the
That
match.
was another thing that
What?
pissed me off. I was like, "How dare you? How dare you? Why?" Like I get Queen's
Why are
Quest
you
lore, I
here? Go
guess.
home.
Yeah, but I was like, and the funniest thing was that it's like, why did you cost her? Like, why did you do this match?
Yeah,
Like,
because she
wouldn't it
didn't
have been
cost
more?
Saka Crowder her match.
Yeah, wouldn't it have been more beneficial to like fuck over a cosmic angel? Like, isn't that like your whole that? But I guess she hates Queen's Quest probably more.
That's true.
Uh, and Lady C was in Queen's Quest, uh, lest
We
we
did have
forget.
some Queen's Quest lore in this tournament. So maybe,
Rare, but yeah, rare
yeah,
but not frequent. What's the word? Present. Rare but present Queen's Quest lore
yes,
here on display.
yeah.
So yeah, fuck Sai Kamatani.
Okay. We then had Saida beat Kyoka Kotatsu in 5.5 minutes. I really enjoyed this. I thought it was a very interesting styles clash. Kyoka is herself, and I don't think she is a stardom brained wrestler yet. And I think that makes her very interesting. She just tries her shit, she does her stuff. And then, Saida was the battering ram, able to like block the worst of the strikes and to get her way out of the submissions. It was just a really interesting clash of styles. It wasn't two wrestlers trying to work the exact same way. They were trying to, wrestle to their own strengths, which is always a lot more interesting.
I do think that that was like the most interesting part of this match, and that like there was like intriguing, kind of threads to this match. But I thought the match itself was a bit not even subpar. It was above average, but it was it wasn't as good as I kind of thought it could be because I did kind of pick up on those stylistic differences and how they both kind of wanted to play that into the match very well, and I felt like they did that in parts, but Uh, they didn't take it home all the way, I guess. They didn't really hit the nail on the head with each, spot that they could have in a sense. But I one thing I do want to note is Saida was wearing her 2021 gear and holy shit, you don't realize how much more jacked she's gotten unless you like look at her now in comparison to the last time she wore that gear
Hmm.
and you're just like, "Oh my god, like you because she's fucking like 4'10", you know what I mean? Like she's still small, like she still looks small, but like she is massive compared to what she used to be. Like it is impressive and incredible. So shout out to Saida, what a beast. I also will say this was one of the first times I felt like Saida was like a vet, like a legit vet, if that makes sense.
Hmm.
'Cause obviously it's been 7 years since she debuted, so she is. It's been a long time. This is like the first time where I was like, she is like a bona fide like if they wanted to just like kind of put her in like the big roles, the big spots, which they did at at Queendom, which I forget was the thing that happened. Was that Queen? No,
It
that
was
was the
Dream
first show.
Queendom.
That was Dream Queendom. Yeah, that's crazy. I feel like it wasn't. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I know she challenged Konami. I know it was a good match, but it does not feel like that was Dream Queendom. But yeah, that she damn yeah, semi main event of the
Yeah.
second biggest show last year. Um, wow. Yeah, but Saida, like this was one of those matches where like you really saw like an aggressive differential where it's like she is so much stronger, more protected, more capable than another wrestler in kayfabe, and it was kind of fun in that sense as well.
Um, our next one was Hina beating Xena in 10.5 minutes. This is a good back and forth match. They're both very talented at what they do, and I thought they had an enjoyable one.
Yeah, I think it started to fall apart a little bit near the end. Just I think Hina couldn't pick her up, and it just kind of like caused a bit of a you know timing issue near the end. But I thought the match was very very good. I quite liked it. Like these are two of my faves, so I had fun with this
Mhm.
for sure. Xena was lighting her up. Hina was lighting her up. I think that was like one of the most fun parts of this for sure.
Definitely. We then went on to Miyo Masaki beating Rina Mashita in just under 7 minutes. The Cinderella exits in the first round. In a fairly good,
We should have known.
yeah. Um, we had a fairly good like babyface performance from Amasaki against Rina Mashita.
Mm.
It's kind of what Amasaki is good at this point in time. Um, I thought they played around with the rules fairly well to kind of get Yamashita out and get Amasaki the upset. So this is kind of the match that the Cinderella tournament was made for to give us something like this. And
This was a very old school Cinderella match
yeah,
in that sense. I loved the finish. I thought that like Rena took that bump to the outside like a fucking like a trooper, man.
yeah,
She just fucking launched herself out there. And I thought that was really cool. Because usually it's like a big like fight and it's some big spot, but this time it was just Miyu just fucking decking her and her just falling off the top rope. Um, I thought that was so cool. I actually really liked that being the way Miyu won here
mm,
because it was a hard sell for her to win. Uh, but I think the way she did it was aggressive and competent. It wasn't like, oh, she just kind of like they played rock paper scissors on the fucking apron and one of them won and then they tripped the other one and they got knocked off. Like it felt like Miyu fucking, got her. She outsmarted her, she got her. Uh she made it hurt. Like I felt like that was a cool development there for the match. Match itself was a bit forgettable, but I thought it was fine all things considered. Because yeah, pretty much the only thing I remember is the Cinderella chants, the Amasaki
yeah.
chants, which I feel like I've never heard before,
I
and
was
the
alive for these two shows. They
yeah,
were
well, not that I've never heard it before, but I haven't heard it in a while. Um, and then the finish. So other than that, I thought the match was like fine, but yeah, those three things were really cool.
okay. Sayaka Kurara beat Saki Kashima in just under 7 minutes in our next match. This is another good match. Saki is retiring, and for some reason, she has decided now she would start throwing kicks
That was actually
to
kind of
lighten up
crazy.
Kurara. I was like, what the
Uh,
hell is this?
Again, I thought this match was pretty average. It was a run of the mill Cinderella opener, um, but I did realize how much Saki has kind of got me because like she like threw a punch
Hmm.
and I was like, holy fuck! Like I was like I like was fucking like I sat up in my like I was like, oh my god, she threw a strike. I didn't know she could do that anymore. Like I was just like dumbfounded. I was amazed. So I think Saki has a couple bangers left in her. I think like
Yes.
there's room for some fun to be had
Well,
with
we have
Saki
5 weeks.
Kashima. Yeah. Who am I kidding? They're just gonna book her to die, and like nothing's gonna
Isn't she
happen.
wrestling Konami? Did I say that? Was that a...
Somebody said that she should wrestle Konami, which
Oh,
I
right.
agree. Uh, but yeah, so yeah, I thought the match was pretty whatever, but I did like that Saki fought back. I was kind of amazed. I forgot she could do that.
Yeah. Okay. Um, in our next match, Rina beat Akira Kurogane in 12.5 minutes. This is another strong performance from Akira Kuragane and another great arena match. God, I'm
Yep.
gonna keep mixing them two up. It was nice to see Akira against somebody like Rina. I think this was it was good to see her kind of out of her rookie group again and away from the EXV
Yeah.
feud. Um,
Oh, I thought you were gonna say away from Mi Vida Loca. I was like,
no,
that's
no,
wrong.
the EXV feud. And I thought they both did really well here. I think Rina really
Yeah.
led her through the match and made kind of filled the time really well. Um, this is probably the best match of day two, if I had to crown one.
Yeah, I don't think that's unfair. It's one of the twins.
Yeah.
Like that's where I'm at. Well, actually, no, I don't think that's true. Actually, I think Lady C and Azusa might have been my favorite of this day.
Whoa.
I just thought it was so much fun seeing both of them like get to do something
That's fair.
alone and like be good at. You know, like I don't know. Uh, don't get a lot of Lady C singles matches. Don't get a lot of Azusa singles matches in Stardom. So I think that was probably my favorite of this day. But I think really if it's that one, it is and it's the two twins matches were my shining spots of this show. Which to be fair is three matches of like eight, so it's not really
Yeah.
saying much, but still. Um yeah, no, I really like this match. I feel like I said this last week where it's like Akira just doesn't have the intensity yet and like somebody who's boring just can't can't really guide her through a match. Um But I think when she can be guided through a match by somebody like Rena, who is intense, who does know, like who is very, um, charismatic and can kind of harness that from Akira, I think it leads to a very fun match. And I thought this was a very fun match that I enjoyed. And yeah, that one of the better of the show.
um, our main event then was Amisore beating B Priestley in 11.5 minutes. I think this was fine. They went for something a bit different. It was a much slower match that kind of built up
Yeah,
different stuff. I didn't hate it. I think as a main event, it kind of did its job of like being a heavy hitter. But
it's kind of
definitely, I think a
boring.
step down. Yeah, I guess a little bit
Like,
more.
and I think I was surprised because I think they're both good. Like,
Hmm.
I think they both can be pretty energized and like pretty cool. And I even thought, the last couple minutes of the match was fun. I thought there was some fun
Yeah.
here, but like it was rough getting through the first. What was the time on this? I got this 11 minutes. I think getting through like the first like 6 7 minutes, and I did the hand thing by the way. Um, the first 6 7 minutes, I felt like that was like rough. Like it was a hard time getting through the first half of the match. Um, but then second half was pretty fine. So it balanced out at like like mediocre, fine, whatever. But yeah, I was a bit disappointed by this one in general because I do think they're both pretty good these days.
Okay. Um, we then headed on to day three. This was in Korakuen Hall on March 8th. They did 1,097 fans for this one. There was a notable part of the opener. India CO won a tag involving Hazuki and challenged her for the CMLL Japan Women's Championship. That match was
As one
on
does.
Korakuen. Either the Korakuen or the Cinderella Final. I think it might be the Cinderella Final actually, because I don't think the Korakuen is until the end of the month. Um, and then there was Cosmic Angels tag that they won. We started the Cinderella action with Hanan beating Rani Yagami in just under 8 minutes. This was another good Hanan match. Another good Rana performance.
Mm.
Um, Probably one of the weaker tournament matches of this specific show, though.
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Um, it was the weakest of the show, in my opinion.
All right. You got any more? Or are we?
Yeah, I mean it was fine. Like I don't know, like this was a forgettable one for me, I guess.
All right. Rian beat Natsupoi in just under 11 minutes to pull off the upset. This was another
That was fun.
over the top rope elimination. It was a very crafty win from Rian. She saw her opportunity and was able to knock Poi off the ropes for the upset. And everything up to that was a good match. I thought it was different from their Korakuen match, their last Korakuen singles. Natsupoi wasn't as dominant, and it was more of a kind of high speed back and forth, kind of Rian preparing herself for Unimon. But it was still very good. I thought Rian looked very good throughout the entire match. Um, yeah, I quite enjoyed this one.
Yeah, I thought it was cool. I think Rion, like I said, had a really fun tournament here. Uh, yeah, I'm rooting for that high speed title match at this point. No, she
Mhm.
won't get it. She's
She is.
still no, I know. I'm rooting that she wins the belt.
Oh, right. Okay.
She ain't doing that. Obviously, she still is kind of in future contention and usually don't
Yeah,
win
I
a
think she'll
belt.
have to win the future belt first.
Yeah. Um, but yeah, I've been really enjoying her work. I feel like she's figured out how to be like this is a funny comparison, but she's kind of like Hammy from Over the Hedge. She's been moving fast, you know what I mean? Just kind of erratic with her movements and stuff. Really, I don't know. I really appreciate what she brings to the table. I think Natsupoi gets a lot out of her every time they wrestle. So I enjoyed this a lot. Surprised that Natsupoi fell, um, but also, you know,
Made it
the
further than
winner of the
Anna.
huh?
She made it further than Anna.
Yeah, and I mean like the thing is that the Cinderella isn't about the matches you win as much as it's about winning the tournament.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Like outside of Rion over Unimon because she's the champion, and unfortunately Yuria over Hanako, or no, Drew with
it was a
Hanako,
draw. Yeah.
um, because Hanako's champion. Outside of those, it's like how you get to the win doesn't matter as much, uh, especially not these days. Because I mean, like we'll talk about it. The biggest, like the wrestler in the biggest match i- at the show that these wrestlers are fighting to compete at, presumably, maybe I don't know. We haven't decided that yet. Uh, loses, right? She loses in the
Hmm.
quarterfinals. So, like, I think you know, I feel like every year we do this Cinderella, and we're like, oh well, this is gonna make sense because this to that and that to this to that. Then at the end, they're like, oh yeah, none of that mattered. Hanan's gonna win the tournament, and that's what matters. So we just sorry. Like that's kind of the vibe.
Okay.
So I think that's why my shock that Natsupoi lost was quickly undone because I was like, oh yeah, I forgot that that's just how the Cindy goes.
Yes, that's how this indie goes. Our next match was Hina beating Azusa Inaba in just under 13 minutes. I mean, you look at the names involved, you can kind of guess this was a quality match.
Yeah, this was dope. I really liked it.
Okay. Hello?
Yeah, I mean, Hina and I think Velke, I hate to credit him with things, but I think Velke kind of peeped it. Hina really is getting more and more into her prime Momo Watanabe bag
Mm.
recently. Just with hitting a bit harder, being a bit more of a dick, just kind of like really, the hair flip, you know, as she does. I flip my own hair, my own mullet, not even my fluffy hair.
Important.
Um, I think that's there. I think Hina is really expanding like what she is, and I think that this tournament has really showcased that. This match was awesome. When I watched it, I was like, "Oh, this is gonna be the best match of the second round." And then the next match happened.
Yeah, so we had Sayaka Kurara beating Tomoka Inaba in just under 13 minutes in the second round.
This
Uh,
was awesome.
yeah, there was a lot to like about this match. I mean, there was actual limb targeting and limb selling. Kurara had moves that she legitimately could not do because Tomoka Inaba was taking away the leg. And when you're wrestling somebody whose main offense is a spear, that's pretty clever. And I guess they kind of undid it because at the finish she kind of just powered through the ankle lock and picked her up. But up until that point, I think they did a good job of like taking away the leg and making that an interesting part of the match. So I quite enjoyed this one. I think Tomoka Inaba used to not be very good actually in this kind of match at like slowing it down and picking apart a limb, but she was quite good here at like mixing her good stuff with the limb targeting, and like this was just the most interesting match of the round. I got a lot out of this one and I quite enjoyed it.
I agree wholeheartedly. I thought that this was awesome. I thought both of the Inaba sisters here looked great in defeat. Um, yeah, I was just pumped, man. This was a really good match. I feel like Sakura it doesn't always hit, and sometimes I think is a bit underwhelming. But when she hits, she fucking hits, man. You know what I mean? Like she like High in Sakura is a beast. Like she's one of my preferred wrestlers in Stardom for sure. Because I don't know, like that Natsuko match in the court in the 5 star last year. Um, I think matches like this. There was a tag match that is now escaping me, but she was awesome in last year as well. Like I just think like when Kurara is on her game, she's one of the coolest wrestlers and most interesting and exciting wrestlers in the company. I mean, we'll talk about another one of her matches that I thought was great. I thought was the best match of the tournament. On the next show we'll talk about. And yeah, I think Sakura is a real, you know,
She really is only
real
talent.
Kinda, yeah, she's a real wild card there, cause like, sometimes it just doesn't hit, sometimes it kinda falls flat with her, but when it hits, and it hits hard. So this is one of the hits.
Okay. Our next match was Rina beating Amisore in 13 minutes. I thought this was good, but I feel like Ami struggled in this tournament to kind of know what to do with a shorter
Mm,
format. I think she went much slower in both of her matches. Maybe she was just like, oh, yes, I will be able to ramp it up at the end, but there was no ramp up at the end. But I think Rena kind of did enough to keep it going and keep it good. But I did kind of think that Ami had her struggles in kind of fitting her match to the Cinderella. But Rena is just good enough that she made it work. So
yeah, I think Ami had a rough time in this tournament. I didn't think this was bad by any means, but it was a bit, I think they've had better. I think they have better in them, and yeah, I thought it was a fun one, but, forgettable. That yeah.
yeah, definitely. Um, our main event then was Miyu Amasaki getting the upset over Saya Ida in just under 10 minutes, getting the win back from the
Unfortunately
Korakuen tag 2 weeks ago.
I fell asleep and didn't watch this. I did not
It
realize
was
that until like 10 minutes ago.
hilarious.
Yeah,
I
I'll
thought it
go
was,
back and watch that a little bit later.
I thought it was another very good match. I think I enjoyed Miyu in this tournament as the ultimate underdog making a run, and I think Saida was kind of able to be the nasty hoss on the other side. And I think the fact that Ida pinned her in the tag 2 weeks ago kind of played into that because she hit the same finishing move. And when Miyu kicked out, it was like, oh my god, holy shit. And then she managed to become the master of the DDT again to kind of turn the tides, and then won with the Tensei, and it was like, oh, that was a really well done sequence. So I quite like this for the Kevin kind of underdog story. But I do think the fact that they had the match, the tag match, kind of really helped build to that.
Mm. Yeah, I could see that. Because I was thinking, I was like, Saeed is one of my favorite wrestlers. How can I not remember how she went out of the tournament?
Yeah,
I realized it's because I didn't watch.
it was absurd. Since we started speaking, the results for the today's show have gone up on Cage Match. So thank you, Cage Match. Um,
Lovely.
so day 4, we had in Korakuen Hall in front of 1,164 fans. We had the quarterfinal stage of this tournament. The undercard wasn't a lot. Suzu Suzuki was back. She teamed with Akira and Rini Mashita to beat
She had
Stars.
not highlights. The front of her hair was dyed. She had
Yeah,
the strips at the front of her hair.
yeah,
Legit, the best friend that I said it's her birthday today. She has the same gimmick
yeah. I
on her
can't
hair.
remember what you call them.
Don't remember, but
I wonder if
like
that's
the
going to be a
front bang.
artist trio. They made a big show of
I
them being together.
yeah,
But I
I
was kind
kind
of
of
giving
like
me time guessing what's next for those belts.
kind of I watched this a bit in the background. I think this would be a good artist trio. I would just give the belts to them, frankly.
Mhm.
We're not gonna do anything else with these people,
No.
so I don't know. Like they're a fun trio. I think they work well together. I think Akira has been doing great work, or I think Akira's been doing good work. I think Rina Masha's been doing great work. I think Rina Masha's one of the MVPs of the company right now, just because she's incredibly useful and versatile. Rina Yamashita, and I thought about this when I watched her versus Miyu. Rina Yamashita is exactly what Marigold needs and does not have,
Yes.
uh, which is funny because she doesn't work for Stardom. Like Stardom is like like it's she kind of does now. Like
Mhm.
she's becoming more and more like a Nozaki and less like a I don't know. I don't know who's an example of somebody who comes out around like Flying Penguin last year. Like she's becoming more closer to like being on most shows at this point.
Mhm.
Certainly most shows that matter in Stardom. So yeah, Rina Yamashita probably deserves an artist belt for her troubles, in my opinion.
I agree. We got into Cinderella action with Hanan beating Maki Ito in 11 minutes. That was a very good match. Again, I think this was another great performance from Maki Ito. I think her showing that she can keep up with Hanan was pretty good. It did have some of the stuff that I don't like. The slap the mat no sell thing from Ito at one point. I was like, come on, you're better than that, Maki. But in general, I thought it was another very good match from Hanan, another good performance from both wrestlers. I like the little character moment afterwards with Ito just flipping her off and Hanan just kind of smiling because that just fits who they both are as wrestlers.
I didn't watch this one.
Why?
'Cause it was a tag match. You told me you didn't. I didn't have to watch the tag match.
No, Hanan and Ito. Cinderella.
Oh. Ha!
What are you talking about?
I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, it was good. Like I said, I think Ito. I think Ito's carving out a place for herself,
Mm-hmm.
which I think is important. I
The
I didn't think
post
this
match
was.
thing was kind of her best stuff since she joined Stardom. I don't know if you saw it. She was like, dude, Kikyo, I ordered 1,000 shirts in high quality because I thought I was going to win. I'm going to have no money. How am I going to pay rent, Kikyo?
That's
Can I
so
live with
good.
you, Kikyo? And Kikyo was like, I don't have a place to like let you live. And she was
Like
like,
I'm living in the dojo, bro. I don't.
so Ito just losing her mind. She's like, what am I going to do? I can't be homeless. I can't pay rent. I ordered these shirts. And then she was like, we're going to sell the shirts to the fans at Yokohama.
I think
Me
that
and
would
you
be.
together. It was
I
fantastic.
think. I think they 100% should make me fucking Maki Ito winner of the Cinderella tournament shirts and sell them.
Yeah.
Because of like, I think that's such a good same thing with with Rina Yamashita being like, "I guess I can't be fucking Cinderella no more." It sucks. Like, I think that's kinda great. Um, I think, yeah, they should make them shirts and have her and
I think
Kikyo
she
handing them
yeah, I
out.
think she made them. She got them already. That was the
Oh, did they?
bit. She ordered
That's
them,
lovely.
paid. So,
Well, I hope it wasn't just a bit, you know what I mean?
yeah, I think they will have special shirts at the Yokohama show that they're gonna
Oh, yeah.
sell. That seemed to be it. But it was good. It was like the best Maki Ito promo. It was like peak character work from Maki that you'd kind of expect from her. Our next match then was Aya Sakura beating Rian in 13 minutes. Honestly, I thought this was a bit of an awkward one. I thought they are both good wrestlers, but just maybe not good together. There was some
Really?
good, like Aya Sakura kicking the thigh of Rian and kind of taking out the leg a little bit, but the overall action, I wasn't too into it. I don't know.
I liked it. I thought Aya kind of beat the fuck out of her, and I thought that was cool. Um, yeah. I think to be fair, I think the first 2 quarterfinals were certainly the weaker of the 4. Um,
Yeah.
Shocker, I know. But yeah, I don't know. I thought it was a fun one, all things considered.
Hmm. Well,
I
I
watched
mean,
it today. I barely remember it, so that probably
yeah,
isn't a good thing.
no, definitely.
Um, but I remember it being pretty good. So it was that.
All right. We then had the Future of Stardom Championship match. Hanako beat Yuri Hime in 12 minutes. Again, I thought it was fine to good. The crowd was into
To
it. I think
good.
Yuria was like, I just think Yuria was really good in this one.
I
A
think
lot of
her.
her
Yeah.
offense
Okay.
is very,
I thought
like, a lot of her
Yuria.
offense is interesting. You
Yeah.
know, it worked. The crowd was kind of into it. It was
I
what it
did.
was.
I tweeted that Yuria wrestled circles around Hanako, and it was noticeable. I do stand by that. I do think that Yuria brought something that I don't think Hanako was able to reciprocate. And it kind of led to Hanako just sitting in the Boston Crab for 3 minutes here, getting the Strowman lock, the head and arm gimmick in for a while.
Mhm.
But when Yuria was kind of like, I felt like the frustrating thing about this match was that Yuria would do cool stuff that felt invigorated and meaningful, and then Hanako would do a half-assed cutoff and then do nothing on top, and I'd be like, okay, okay, and I'd kind of like sit and I'd watch and I'd wait for Yuria to do something cool, and then she did something cool, and then another cutoff, and then you wait. Like that's what the match felt like. I did not get much at all from Hanako. Like even when she was like throwing her weight around, like being like more of a powerhouse, I still felt like the best part of this match was Yuria trying to pull her around. The best part of Hanako's side, at least, was Yuria trying to like turn her around, pick her up, and Hanako just swung her whole body and clubbed her with her arm. It's like just like fucking like back fisted her in the side of the head. Like that shit was nasty. That was cool. Um, but like her lariats were weak, her submissions were poor. This was, I think, the Akira match. To hate Hanako for that would be unnecessary. I think that this match did remind me that Hanako is bad sometimes. Like I said with the last match, that I just think Hanako's a bit boring, and that happens with wrestlers. I'll let it slide. Who cares? She's a bit boring. It happens. This was a match where I was like, oh, I don't think she's good.
Okay.
I'm back. I'm back right where I was a couple weeks ago. She's not good. Um, Yuria, did fine. She did well, I would say. But yeah, I'm back on the Hanako bads train. I'm afraid.
Well, I can't argue. She did not have herself a good week, so it is what it is. Afterwards, Ronnie Agami came out to challenge, which I think will be a good match and probably the last challenger before they give it to Aya. So we'll have a different champion soon, and then Aya's gonna vacate because she's basically at the limit. So
Yeah, I was gonna say they might just give it to fucking Ron.
I don't think so. I don't think they will skip the Aya gen entirely.
You
Um,
keep saying that Aya and Hanako are the same gen.
yeah, you know what I mean. They're not gonna like give it to Hanako and not Aya. They don't really do that. So I think they give it to both of them, and then they vacate, and then they probably do a
Potentially.
tournament or something. Because they do have to find out how to book New Blood shows. They need
Hmm.
something. But yeah, that was that one. Rana, I think could get a good match out of Hanako. I think Rana could get a good match out of most people though. In fairness, we then got on to Rina beating Sayaka Kurara in 15 minutes in probably the match of the tournament. I mean, this was essentially a title match in disguise.
Yeah.
They were both hitting their big stuff. Rina let Kurara kick out of a lot of her best stuff as well. Like she really put Kurara over strong. She needed to pull out the cop killer to get the win. Kurara hit some like crazy spears. Her spears are no longer
Yeah.
good spears. She is just like siphoning through people. It was a great little match. Rina can do no wrong, and like the crowds always love her. Her matches are always great. She should beat Sayaka Kamitani in a justified world, but here we are.
Yeah. No, I mean this was awesome. This was a dope match. Uh, Best of the tournament so far for sure. And yeah, I totally agree. I think, like I said, I feel like with Kurara, when she hits, she's knocking it pretty close out of the park. She's getting a ribby, yeah, as they say, an RBI, uh, in some way, shape, or form, at least. So I think that this was one of those instances because this was awesome. This was an awesome match. Felt like they were just really going at it at a level that, like you said, it was close to a title match than it was like a Cinderella, uh, you know, pre semis, like a pre semi match in Cinderella. This is a good one.
Hmm.
Well worth watching. Awesome match. Like you said, Rena got her with the kudo, the cop killer, if you will. Um, if you're Cody Rhodes, it's a cop caller, but I digress. Remember when we tried calling that shit Din's Fire? And it was like, nah, that's a cop killer, motherfucker, or cop
I
caller,
don't know.
because
Cody is
you're
not
white.
uncommon.
But he seems like he'd call the cops.
I don't know.
Besides the point,
Cody is an uncommon wrestler.
isn't that your favorite company's top champion? I
Um,
digress. I digress.
is he? I
Um,
don't know.
He is. He just won it back, but everybody's mad. Yeah, yeah,
Great.
because he's doing the AEW thing where he just doesn't stop winning.
He's got one more
Um,
year.
yeah, who would have thought? Um, anyway, match was awesome. I was really happy with it. I will say, Rena beating Kurara, uh, was cool, but I also was a bit like after the main event, I was like, huh, that was interesting. This is all interesting. Where we're going with this, I guess. But yeah, no, I was happy with this for sure.
All right. Afterwards, then we had a lot of intrigue because Sayaka Kamitani showed up and was like, "I told you you're not good enough to challenge me for the belt. You didn't win Cinderella." And she basically gave her the ultimatum that she can challenge for the title if she puts something on the line. Um, and so I guess we're gonna build to either Kurara putting her career on the line and doing back-to-back career versus title matches, or she puts her status in Cosmic Angels on the line. Um, they're not doing this at the Cinderella final, so this looks to be the Yokohama Arena main event. Is Kurara versus uh, Sai Kamatani with a stipulation, and I was kind of intrigued that they did um, a clean finish here instead of Saya like cheating. I guess maybe it was to be like, oh, you actually suck instead of like we cheated. But I thought this would be a good place for Saya to cheat and be like, see, you're not on our level, and kind of be a bit of a dick about it. But you know, they went the way they went, and I guess it's setting up a big stipulation, which we don't know yet. But I would imagine it's either Cosmic Angels or her career.
Uh, yeah. So I discussed the stipulation a couple hours ago. I don't see a good outcome for this, truthfully. Like I think the options are kind of silly. Um, the realistic options, I suppose. Because like, what do you think is the step for Sayaka Kurara when she loses?
That she has to leave Cosmic Angels, or that she has to join Hate.
I think both of those are bad ideas.
I guess
I also thought, oh, maybe Hate or maybe Cosmic Angels will have to disband, which would
mm,
be interesting, especially because I mean, like, I feel like everybody's disbanding, so like, why not?
only one
Like,
group disbanded.
hmm?
Only one group has disbanded.
Stars kicked out half their members
They kicked
last
out
year.
two and got one back.
I don't know. But okay, you look at the non-affiliated side, fucking part of the website, and get back to me about this. I like you. Like, I'm not crazy. This company is not as faction based. I mean, look at the cards. When's the last time there was a full faction that wasn't hate that like was teaming without anybody else?
On today's show, God's Eye.
No Cosmic Angels, but yeah, because yeah, no God's Eye teamed with Fua, Kikyo, and Maki Ito.
No, on today's show, it was just God's Eye.
Oh, wait,
Ami, Lady
I'm on
C,
the page.
Rana, Saki, Tomoka.
Wait, they haven't. Where is it? No, it's not up there yet.
Oh,
Cage match
it's not
doesn't
on their
exist
main
anymore.
page. It's on the Stardom results page.
Oh,
Yeah.
I thought you were talking about Cage
No,
match. Whatever, whatever.
no,
They
on
they
Cage
don't
Match,
do
on
it
the
much
Stardom
anymore.
results section on Cage Match. It's just
They don't. They
for some reason not on the main page. I guess.
That sucks. This is
Mm.
stupid. I hate this. Um. Okay, now I see. Yes. And stars. Okay. Okay. This one show. Okay. Okay. I get it. Um. Damn. I thought there was only two. Whatever. It doesn't matter. Um. Point being, I think that they feel burdened by the factions now. Like, I I don't know. Don't think that I think that they have to overhaul the factions regardless if they want to keep doing factions. And part of me questions if they even do want to keep doing factions because they make money, but they also just seem to get in the way. I mean, they seem to much rather pair random wrestlers with other random wrestlers. So I don't know. Like, I mean, I feel like Neo Genesis is on the brink of death too. I mean, they're like always teaming with unaffiliates or luchadoras or anybody that's not Hate or Mi Vida Loca, essentially. Um, so like, point being, I wouldn't be surprised if they just basically
What are you
do
saying?
they rerun the Starlight Kid gimmick or do they rerun the Sai Kamitani gimmick,
I
the heel
don't.
turns?
Um,
I think they do one or the other.
I mean, they might do a kid version where Kurara has to join, but I don't think she'll be like a happy affiliate.
Well, neither was Kid for the first 2 months.
Yeah, but that
Remember,
was
Mai
Rossi.
had to
I feel like
Mai
Tara
had
is
to.
the type to do a John Cena joins the Nexus type
But how long does that last? Like, what do we do?
until December when she wins the belt. I don't know.
See, that's bad. This is what I mean. I feel like all the options are bad.
Well, she might just leave Cosmic Angels and then Micah and her make the new babyface faction because that's what they want to do. I don't know. Can we just finish the Cinderella?
Yes. What?
Okay.
Like, I don't. How long have
The
we been
main
on it?
event. We're here
Damn,
about
we've
an
been
hour.
recording for an hour.
Yes.
Damn.
Um, we in our main event, Mio Masaki beat Hina in just under 15 minutes. I thought it was a pretty good match, but kind of suffered by going on after Rina versus Kurara. I think they were very similar matches. Ultimately, it was kind of
Yeah.
just bomb throws and near falls. Just that Rina and Kurara did a bit better.
Yeah. I vaguely agree. I really like this match still. This is probably like a second or third favorite match of the tournament so far because I thought it was awesome. I just think Hina really, has been delivering on the small stuff that I always appreciate. Miyu Amasaki almost fell out of the ring, like she was hanging on, and then Hina like looked at her for a second and just grabbed her and was like, "Nah, I'm killing you." Like, because it was like early into the match, she's like, "I don't really want to win like that. I just want to beat the fuck out of you." And so she just started like going on onslaught, like she was fucking beating her ass there for a bit, and I really liked that. I thought Miyu, like you said, has been doing a great job of being that underdog all tournament long. I was obviously quite upset when Hina lost because I
Mhm.
get upset when Hina loses, and I didn't know. I was actually unspoiled because I just figured it would go to Rina versus Hina because it's like that's the point of getting the three sisters to the semi, like getting the three sisters to semifinals is a cool thought. So I was like, oh,
Mhm.
those do that.
Oh gosh.
I sneezed. I did not get to mute myself in time. I apologize. Ugh, bless myself. But I was a bit bummed that Hina didn't make it to get that Hina versus Rina semifinal match. And yeah, I thought it was awesome, but it was a bit devastating for me. Especially because Miyu just beat her straight up. Like that was frustrating too. Miyu be cheeky about it. Like she's been really like stealth, very, scrappy. She just beat Hina. Like she's pinned her
Mhm.
flat back, middle of the ring, killed her. Like I was like, damn, I forgot they don't really fuck with her like that. It's me.
All right.
Yeah.
Um,
Very good match though.
yes, it was. Now on Sunday, March 15th, we have the final of the Cinderella tournament at Yokohama Budokan. We have some matches announced for this one. They are doing Hanako versus Ronnie Agami here for the future Stardom title. So they're running that quick. And Hanako is obviously going to beat Rana there. We have the CMLL Japan Women's Championship match. Hazuki takes on India Seo here. I think that'll be another good match. Obviously, I think Hazuki retains. There's no point in taking the belt off her, so just keep it there. And then we have a Cinderella Tournament semifinal. Hanan takes on Aya Sakura. Um, I think with Kurara out of the tournament, Hanan winning becomes very likely. And
Yeah, I mean, like
so,
I feel like all of the other favorites that existed are now out.
yes. So, common sense dictates that Hanan will win and go
Maybe
to the
we
final.
I say that, but maybe Rena just wins it all, challenges Konami, and wins the belt.
I don't think so.
I don't
Hanan
either.
has won a Cinderella before, right? She won the first one with Taro.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's kind of the
she
only
she
pause I would
she
have.
would be the second two-time. Wait,
Yeah.
no, did Mayu get two? No,
No.
because yeah, it was Mirai and Hanan. I think it would be.
Okay. See, they might for the plot device, of Hanan being good in Cinderella. Because her winning and just challenging Konami seems like the most likely end goal of all this.
Yes.
Um, so you'd imagine Hanan beats Aya and goes through. Um, on the other side, then we have Miyo Masaki versus Rina. I think Hanan versus Rina makes too much sense.
Oh no,
And
Mayu won the first two. Okay, I
she
was
did
right.
okay. So there'll be another
So
two-time
she'd be the
winner.
first. She'd be the first non back-to-back winner,
Okay.
two-time winner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The other side is Amasaki versus Rina, in the semifinal. I think they could do a left turn here and do Miyu winning. So then Hanan beats Miyu in the final instead of beating Rina. Um, just because some like with Taro, sometimes you'll see like a very sensible um like end goal, and then he'll like swerve left, and he'll get to the same end result, which is Hanan winning the tournament, but it will
But
be
it's
with a
just
different
slightly less. But it's just slightly less satisfying.
kind of. But there's also, I guess, the story of like Rena's
The
been to
story
three
is.
consecutive semifinals and then like losing at the
Yeah.
semifinal every time, and she kind of
Wait,
has
no, Rena
become this like,
Rena got to the final last time.
did she?
Yeah, she lost to Kurara in the final, didn't
Ah,
she?
right, damn. Okay, so that kind of kills it
Am
because
I
I was like,
wrong?
oh, they have
Yeah.
Rena as like the nearly woman. She always like loses the title matches but gets close, and the
No, I think there's
semifinals
a.
all the time doesn't win.
I think there's a very real possibility, if they are thinking long term, which they probably aren't, um, that Rena goes to the finals again, loses, and then next year is like, I'm due, and then she wins finally after
Yeah, they could.
2 years in the semis.
Hmm.
Like she could just become like the Cinderella winner, like the
Yeah,
Cinderella wrestler, so to speak. Uh, yeah, I could see that potentially happening.
yeah. I just think they'll do Hanan versus Miyu Masaki to kind of throw people off the scent.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, they've obviously like wanted to position Miyu well, which hey, good on them. I remember a few months ago I was talking about how Miyu Masaki might be their least favorite wrestler in that company. She's
Well,
not
it has to
now.
sustain, which I think is the big question mark.
Touche. Yeah, I don't know how they could do that. Like I don't.
I don't know either.
Even if she won the Cinderella tournament, she's not beating Konami. You know what
No,
I mean? Like
she would most likely be a May Kamitani challenger.
Miyu Amasaki.
Yeah, no, in May on a Korakuen. So
There's
last year
no
they
way.
did the
No,
Cinderella challenge at a Korakuen.
I think a Miyu. Yes, I know, but I think a Miyu Amasaki win of the tournament would probably lead to her challenging and losing at Yokohama, and that being another
I don't
hate
know.
wins everything. Fuck you,
I don't think Hate wins
bitch.
everything at Yokohama.
I didn't think hate win everything was going to win everything for the past year, and they have.
I don't know. It's difficult because obviously if they do what they did last year, then there's definitely a world where Aya Sakura wins and like she
Yeah,
challenges Kamitani in anger in May.
let's just be silly. Let's have Aya Sakura challenge Hanako.
That would stink, but
Yeah.
sure, why
You
not?
could just you could literally just walk up with your birth certificate and be like, "Okay, I want a challenge now."
Yeah, that's fair.
That's how that belt's contention works. But yeah, I don't know. No, I think Hanan's obviously winning.
The only thing we
But
know is for sure is Rina is not winning the tournament, I guess.
no, no, I think there's a real chance that
No,
Rina challenges Konami and wins the
they're not
belt.
gonna do
And then
that. They're not gonna do that.
I don't know, they could if they wanted to
I don't think they will.
push things up.
I don't know. It'll be interesting to see how that goes. But my money is on Hanan, and then
It's like a
she drops.
98% chance that Hanan
Yeah,
wins, yes.
most likely it's her or Aya. That's kind of where I would go, but most likely Hanan.
No, I'd say it's one of the sisters is more likely.
Okay, okay,
Well,
maybe.
actually, Miyu's also possible. I don't know.
See, Rina's the least likely. um, but anyway, our main event for this show is a special tag match. It is Sayaka Kamitani and Konami versus Natsupoi and Sayaka Kurara. Sakakaro might win here and then announce the stip for the
Wait,
Yokohama
who's Saya's partner?
Konami. So no red or white belt match on this show. But yeah, I think Kurara could win and then like make her big declaration of what the stipulation is for Yokohama.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm not. I'm concerned.
Okay. Just a quick thing regarding the Cinderella. I think that I really liked the format and everything this year. I think the 8 match kind of 2 hour show thing is perfect, and it's very upsetting that they can't do that year round. Because I think if Stardom was that compact with every show, I would love them. Like I think everybody's been kind of really into the Cinderella because it has been much easier to watch than something like the 5 star is, or kind of your usual Stardom Corkin where there's like 5 different 6-on-6 tags. I feel like they've found a very good sweet spot with that tournament. And if they can kind of format the Cinderella like this every year, then it'll be back to kind of, it will never be as good as it was on the one night thing. I've often said the one night thing was just a star making day in itself. Like you cannot beat that from a pro wrestling perspective. But it's probably the closest you're gonna get because the Cinderella has been pretty bad and on a declining scale since they moved away from the one night thing. So I think this year they really kind
It's
of,
been a
yeah, they found something
been
that works.
better.
They've
Yeah,
and not having the main eventers in has kind of let it be a breath of fresh air. It's been a
in a
tournament
sense.
mostly free of like the overwrought hate stuff. There's been no Micah, there's been no Kid. It's been a lot of fresh faces getting to have big matches, and I think that's just exactly what you want from this tournament. So hopefully they can keep it up. I think this is one of the better readjustments Taro has made to one of the tournaments. And maybe if Stardom wants to, they can start leaving people off shows and running 8 match cards, and we will all rejoice.
Yeah, Stardom's interesting. I still feel like they should probably just, I don't know, do a New Japan schedule where they do tours,
Yeah.
and most wrestlers are on the cards, obviously. But if somebody needs off for a tour, they can be off for a tour. That
Mm,
way, like we aren't waiting around seeing like, oh, is Suzuki ever gonna come back over the next? Like it could just be like, oh, she's off this tour,
yeah.
or oh, she's off the next couple tours. It's not like, oh, this weekend she's here, or this weekend she isn't here. We'll see. Like I don't know. I just think a lot of like the semantics of Stardom would probably, it would just be probably a healthier system if they went the New Japan direction with tours instead of every single week having shows like every weekend. But
Yeah.
I don't know. Who am I? I don't know things.
I don't know. But that was all for Stardom. We are going to go on to Marigold now for
I think there is a piece of news we should talk about.
from.
Shinjuku Face,
Oh shit! Yeah. Well, I was meant to do that at the start of the
which I
show.
think is a mix of both. So I mean,
Yes.
we could just talk about it here.
Well, yeah. So it's been announced that before the end of this year, Shinjuku Face is going to shut down. Which honestly is like a kneecapping the Joshi scene. I mean, companies like Seedling, like Pro Wrestling Wave, Sariism, like they're all losing a place to run shows that you maybe don't trust to fill Corkin. And I don't
But
know
are
how
also
this.
bigger than Shinjuku Face,
Yeah, that's bigger.
and also
Shinjuku.
just have a more like I think Rossi said that Shinjuku Face is just a easier atmosphere,
Mhm.
an easier setup, uh, with better merch tables than
Yeah,
Shinjuku or than Shinkiba. So yeah,
like the long term effects this could have on the entire scene could be awful. I mean, you could see companies just completely handcuffed to running smaller venues for the entire year and just not trying as much, or you're going to see companies running Cork in every 2 months or 3 months and just being like, we don't care if we draw 400, we need the money, because you are losing a lot of revenue with something like this, which is a big issue for kind of the smaller companies. I think for us, it's not necessarily as big a loss because Stardom and Marigold have kind of, even Marigold doesn't put a lot of stock into that venue anymore. But it was still a place that they tried with stuff. I mean, you got Mayu versus Arena there, did Mayu versus Komomo there. Like it was a place for people to get a chance, and I think losing that isn't great. You know, for Marigold more so. Stardom obviously has kind of outgrown it, but it was still a fun place for them to do
The
just a
yearly
random show if they
show.
wanted to,
Yeah.
yeah, and like have a hot crowd in a small venue. Like it was nice. You know, everybody remembers the quarterfinal of that 5 star Grand Prix in Face. Like that was one of the defining shows of the post Rossi era. Um, so you know, losing it is a big blow because it was a very good venue for pro wrestling. I thought it looked great on camera. You know, and for a company like Marigold, it offered them a place to run in Tokyo that they don't have to go all out like they do in Corkin, but they could try stuff, and you'd get a wrestler like Arena getting to wrestle Mai Iwatani without, you know, needing to draw 700 people, because you can draw 3 to 4 or 500 and you're going to be fine there. So it's a big loss, and I think Rossi is trying somewhere else in Tokyo instead. So he's maybe trying to find a replacement, but it's going to be difficult to replace that, especially on the merch side. You know, I think Rossi, you were kind of referencing it. You kind of got it wrong a little bit, but Rossi said that, you know, Face offers a lot more time for merch,
Oh,
and
right.
Marigold's money mainly comes from that merch. You know, they have lines, the wrestlers sell you their merch, they take a picture and all that sort of stuff, and so finding a venue that can replicate that will be a big part of kind of continuing the growth and the money making of Marigold. So yeah, it's a big loss. I don't think like Stardom Quest stuff, it's huge. But for like the scene as a whole, I would be very worried. Like I don't know what a company like Sealing is going to do without Shinjuku Face.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, like every time I think about a match, I'm like, this would probably be better in Shinjuku Face. Like
Hmm.
atmospherically, it's like the ultimate Japanese wrestling venue. Because yeah, I mean like Korakuen is that, but Korakuen, like you said, is kind of made for bigger companies to run small shows in than it is for small companies to run big shows in, so to speak. Like it it doesn't always work that way. I feel like a empty Korakuen's usually kind of rough. Whereas like as long as you get 100 people in Shinjuku Face, the vibes will be bumping. Like you don't have to worry that much. Just because like it's a cool place. Yeah, I mean, like you said, it's not gonna be something crazy for Stardom. We're gonna miss out on the best show of the year every year, unfortunately. uh, which is the Cinderella quarterfinals or the Stardom or the fuck. It's late. I've had a day. Um, the 5 star quarterfinals. We're gonna miss out on those being in Shinjuku Face, which is always fun. And yeah, Marigold. You know they run once a month, but they've become a more Korakuen focused company. You know they run Korakuens much more than they do Shinjuku Faces. I don't think they really care too much about Shinjuku Faces. But like I'm gonna miss the fucking like the New Year's shows. Like those that's a
Yeah,
perfect example
yeah.
of like, oh, doing the rookie of the year, doing a little battle royal and, having like a fan event, like an impromptu fan event essentially. Like that like you do that in Shinjuku Face because that's pretty much exactly like the vibe. Like that's what you go for.
Hmm.
Um and there's just that just doesn't exist anymore. Sari, yeah, Sari's homeless. We got Sariism homeless.
Mm.
Bef- Before it's in Korakuen Hall, it's homeless. It's
Yeah, it's a
crazy.
big
It's
problem.
devastating.
Sorry,
I
man.
mean, so many companies, it's like this. I mean, like we live for those seedling Shinjuku Face shows every month. Like those are the shows, like
Hmm.
the show, and it's just gone. I don't know. It's devastating. I don't know how uh land ownership works in Japan or what the word is, but I would love it if somebody bought it or if somebody opened a venue similar to it because there will
Well, I
clearly
actually
be a
just saw
demand.
this. The guy who manages Face said he's been talking with the people who own the company, and he's been like asking them to make a similar venue that's like
Mm.
500 capacity. So hopefully he can push that through, and they can
Yeah, because
rebuild
like
a new place that's similar to Face.
because the thing is that it's not like, oh, this place is gonna like obviously I don't know how the margins are. I
Mm.
imagine considering how often people run it, regardless of how much uh people they bring in. I imagine it's pretty cheap to run. I imagine it's
Yeah.
pretty company friendly in that way. So I don't know the margins, but like I can't imagine you can't make it profitable in some way.
Yeah.
Like obviously it's harder than Corkin or a bigger venue where, well, not even, because bigger venues are also hard because there's so much more risk involved. You know,
Yeah. Much bigger
if
overheads.
Yeah, exactly. So not even, but like I would imagine that it should, like, you should be able to turn a profit on a Shinjuku face because
Hmm.
of how many people utilize it and how useful it is and how fucking well booked that shit is. Like
Yeah.
it's just, I don't know. There's a market for it clearly. I hope that we get something similar to it in the next couple years because, yeah, I mean, this could be a really dark period for, especially for Joshi wrestling, um, where these companies are just running, like, no disrespect, but running shit boxes because they can't get the crowds for Corkin, or they're overrunning Corkin because they have nowhere to run, and they're running Corkin every month and they get 200 fans there and they're
Yes.
fucking hemorrhaging money, and Corkin stop, like, eventually at that point I think Corkin would just stop letting people run, like they'd probably say no at some point, and that destroys uh you know the industry. So like that's concerning. um yeah, it's a real bummer. It's really rough, and it could have pretty aggressive impacts on the Joshi scene if not, um, if something doesn't happen in the
Mhm.
meantime. Or maybe we just need to find like a venue that all of a sudden likes wrestling now. You know,
Oh, I
like
don't know.
for me, again, I know we're going a little over, but there's not much to talk about with Marigold anyway. For me, I grew up going to wrestling shows at Bourbon Street, which is a bar down the street, not down the street from my house, but like 15 minutes away from my house. Now, I go to Bourbon Street to drink. It's one of my go-to bars. Uh, and I am like, hey, can we bring wrestling shows back? I think we should. I think we should hit up the indie promoters. We should bring wrestling shows back here. They haven't been here in like 6 years. We should do wrestling shows again. Um, they have not listened to me, unfortunately. The poor bartenders have to listen to me complain. And by bartenders, I mean my friend. But I digress. Uh, yeah, I don't know. Like maybe we just need to find a venue that all of a sudden is like, yeah, wrestling sounds cool. I'm sure
You
there's a
know
couple
that
in Japan, in Tokyo.
that Tokyo Square thing is the most useless shit because they were like, "Yeah, we're gonna build another wrestling venue in
Oh,
Tokyo.
right, yeah.
It's 150 people because we don't already have like five of those." It's
That's what I mean. It's not even mid-size, but just like a little bit more. I mean, it
Mhm.
is mid-size because I think anything over like 1,500 capacity is big in wrestling. Um, yeah, like just give me somewhere with a sub 1,000 capacity, but above 150, like that's all. That's what we need. That's what everybody needs,
Yeah.
more than whatever else Snow tells you that you need. This is what we
Hmm.
need.
Okay. Speaking of Shinjuku Face, we go there for our first bit of Marigold news on the Universe Magic Show. Mayu Utani, Mika Iwata, and Mio Momono went to a 20-minute time limit draw with Miyuki Takase, Takumi Iroha, and Utami Hayashishita in a special offer tag. It's good to see Mika Iwata in there, getting to mix it up. Hopefully that's hinting at something to do with Marigold, because Mika Ono did name drop her last month, and that would be an awesome match. Um, this is getting a lot of praise. It's the highest rated match on Cage Match on the show, and all three companies involved have very good tag styles. So I feel like everybody involved in this knows how to just have a great high energy trios match.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't get to watch it, unfortunately, but the funniest part definitely was um Mayu going, it was cool teaming with you, Mika. I actually was always terrified of you.
Yeah.
Mika Wa goes, what? Maddie's like, "Yeah, you scare the shit out of me. I can't lie. Like you just, I don't know, it's just your vibe, your aura." And Miyamoto's like, "Dude, I totally get it." Miko Wada's like, "You guys are mean. What the fuck?" Like, she was so personally hurt. She's like, "I don't care if you're my senior. That's fucking rude. Why would you say that? What the fuck,
Yeah,
man?" Like,
that's
I
fine.
just thought that was really funny. Yeah, and I love that Miyamoto was chiming in like, "No, I get it." Like, you ain't crazy, girl. I get it. But yeah, I mean, like, cool match on paper. I don't know what Miyuka Takase is doing here. I feel like she's always here. Uh, I like Miyuka Takase, but it is so funny how many matches it's like, wow, like these are like, you know, real hard hitters and Miyuki Takase.
And it went to a draw. Why didn't you send
Yeah,
like
she was
anybody
so
else?
ready to get pinned. Like she was just like begging to get pinned. Look at her. Look at me, Miyuka Takase on the match graphic for this fucking match. She is ready to get pinned. She's just it's a foregone conclusion. Why that didn't happen, I don't know. I guess I guess them farmer girls are protective
Maybe.
of their people now that she's officially a Sunday girl. But they're not. Yuka Oka gets pinned. Manami gets pinned all the fucking time.
Yeah, I don't know. Um, but yeah, that was fun. Let's hope for more Sendai and Marigold because Sendai rocks. Um, Now we had one show happen this past week. It isn't up yet, which is unusual for Marigold. It's on a 4 day delay. Um, the most notable result was that hold on, I'll have to bring it up. In the main events, no, not the main event. In the mid card, Seri Yamaoka, Shino, and Yuki Yamazaki. They beat Irina Yamanaka, Mai Sakurai, and Natsumi Shozuki. And after that, they made it clear that they want to challenge for the 3D trios titles. And Rossi kind of not so subtly indicated that that would be happening at the show at the Shrine later this month, if the champions retain at Corkin. So that was kind of the main thing. The rest of the show was kind of pretty standard, but they did set up a 3D title match there.
Yeah, you know, it's cool. I'm happy that the trios titles are just a thing now. Like I think that's my thing. Like I'm like, yeah, that's cool. Fuck yeah, let's
All
go.
right. Um, when did Miku and Koki challenge for the tag titles? Because I feel
On
like
that
that
show,
happened. Oh, was it? Okay, I didn't realize. Because I knew it happened at some point, but I didn't see a clear place for it to happen. Koki wasn't on this show.
is it at the Shrine show as well?
No, that's a Corkin.
Mm,
That's our main event. Um, yeah. Anyway, we have
great,
one show to preview. You lost? Are you okay?
a little.
Why?
Wait, why wouldn't it be on the? Wait, no, wait.
Miku
Yeah,
and
no,
Koki
that's on
are
the
main
Corkin.
event in Corkin. That's what I
Yeah,
said.
yeah, no. I thought you were saying something else. My bad.
No, I said because I asked when did they challenge? But Koki
Oh
isn't
yeah,
wasn't
on the
on the last show, so I wasn't sure.
yeah, no, she was on the last. She challenged after
Oh, she was. I
Chiaki
saw her there. Yeah, sorry,
had
Hummingbird and
her
Koki.
haircut revealed. Yeah, that match.
Okay. All right. This is what happens when they don't upload the shows.
Yeah,
um, yeah, we have a Corkin on the 14th, which is in 3 days. That's a Saturday one. It's early Saturday though, so don't be surprised if the attendance isn't great. We open with a debut. Big Al takes on Yuka Yamazaki.
that's that, it's AI, ain't it?
I don't know.
I'm pretty
Nobody
sure it's
seems clear.
no. Fucking Hasi said it's AI.
Right, so rookie AI,
Yeah.
um, which could be just I or like something like that. I don't know. They didn't make it very clear. She is debuting against Yuki Yamazaki. Rookie AI is quite tall and wears a mask, and
And is apparently old.
is apparently old. Her gear is leaked in the graphics for the later shows, and it's kind of nice. It's like blue and what looks like clouds across it. So you add that to the mask, and this is a very standout wrestler. She's also tall, so I expect her to have the UN title match before the end of the year.
The worry
Um,
is she joined the dojo a year ago. just
Yeah, so
now
she
got
joined at the same time as
allowance.
Yuka. But
Yeah,
in
dude,
saying that,
debut joined a year ago.
Yuka is like a prodigy.
Super. I mean, yeah, no, they said that from the jump. They said that it took her like a month to get to the point where she could potentially pass her protest, and I think it only took her like 3 months to debut from the time she entered the dojo. Um, so yeah, Yuka is a different animal, but she AI has still been in the dojo for a year, um, and I feel like they maybe too much emphasized when I read about her that she has no past sports experience.
Mm,
Um, so we'll see. Maybe she might be unathletic, but we'll
it's
see.
true. Well, hopefully not. Hopefully this is a good one. Um, yeah. I mean, the result there will be interesting because if she wins and beats Yuka, then we'll know that Rossi is just like, hey, tall, I like you. But most likely, I don't think she'll win this debut.
No, no, Yuka's
No.
definitely winning.
We then have Hummingbird versus Nagisa Tachibana versus Shino. Shino, I guess, will win. She has a 3D title match coming soon.
Yeah, anybody's game, really. I
Yeah,
mean,
I don't think that'll be
essentially.
good. I don't know if Shino will fit
No, I think this will be
three-way
bad, actually.
style. Okay. From there, though,
I think
we're into
Tachibana's
the deep.
the only good three-way match wrestler here.
Yes, she is. And if they do fast-paced stuff with her and Hummingbird, Shino will just be like, "What is happening?"
Lost.
Yeah. From there, though, it's all business. Sari Yamaoka takes on Rhea Seto in a
With the
special
wolf cut. That's a beautiful photo. The her render. She looks great. The
series.
hair. Yeah.
Yeah, no series.
I think her hair has grown to reach exactly like peak Sarah, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
it just fits her vibe.
you're right. Um, I assume Sari will win, but this is a very
Yes.
random match to book. But hey,
Rossi
fine. Sure.
just remembered that he never got to do this last year.
Yeah, it's like damn, I
Or
want to do it.
maybe he did get to do it, but he didn't get to do it like, post turn for Rhea.
Yeah. I don't
So
know
yeah,
this
no,
one.
I think Sari wins, but I think it'll be a fun one.
Yeah, no, these are two good wrestlers. This
I think they could
more.
do a lot here. Like they could just go with the basic house style, but I feel like there's like room for them to fucking have a technical
Hmm.
one, or just like a beat the fuck out of each other one. Like there's a lot of directions this one can
Yeah,
go,
for
which I
sure.
think makes it very interesting.
I wonder
Yeah,
if they
right.
just do a D2 finish.
They did this match a year ago,
Oh, all
uh,
right.
a year and 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago
Wow.
or so. Um,
Before Ray ever
apparently
really.
this was like Sari's first singles match,
Okay.
the
Yeah,
second
so
singles
before
match,
they both
basically.
kind of really took that step.
Yeah, and also Sari won, which is very funny. Yeah, this was her first singles win. That's what it was.
Well, Sarah's going to win again.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. All right. Um, our next match is Chika Goto and now Shikawa taking on the debuting Maddie Morgan and Angel Hayze.
Which
Um,
one did you say was good?
Angel Hayze.
The one
I,
with the yellow gear, yellow and pink.
I think so. Um, I could
God,
see Hayes and Chika Goto doing some fun stuff in this one. I think Maddie will struggle to find somebody to like work with her style. You might see Goto or Ishikawa like base for her and let her do her aerial stuff, but I don't know who she would really mix it up with how she wrestles. Like now Ishikawa and Chika do not move like that.
yeah.
They're not doing springboard face busters, you know. So I think Angel Hayes will just settle in a lot better. I could see her and Chika Goto doing some good stuff in this one, but yeah, I think Maddie would struggle.
Oh my
Obviously, I know what
God,
you wanted to do. I would have put Maddie in the three-way and just
oh
like
Jesus.
let her,
Yeah,
Hummingbird, and Nagisa do fast-paced stuff.
I feel so old.
Why?
Fucking Maddie Morgan was born in 2007.
Yes,
Jesus Christ.
it's very young. Yeah, that'd be an
God.
interesting match. We then have
Yeah.
the Syoko Kushino best of seven trial second match. Syoko Kushino takes on Utami Hayashishita. That'll be a win for Utami, but this is, again, this is the best use of her. Her as just the, testing ground for somebody like Syoko. I'm getting to see how much she can get out of this particular opponent.
Yeah, I mean, funnily enough, this feels like the match that like this was all made for. Like, I feel like
Mm,
this was like the point. And Rusty's just like, oh, let's just like, why not? Let's just make this a trial series. I expect this to be fairly good. Like, I don't know, maybe not fairly good, but I think this is like a match where Shioko can really shine because Utami likes to do that for people, and stylistically, I think they could mesh well.
Hmm.
So yeah, this is pretty make or break for Shioko for me because I feel like this should be good. This isn't an instance where I was like, yeah, I mean, it could be good. Like, oh, if she can rise to the occasion, it'll be good. It's like if this is bad, I feel like I'm a bit concerned about Shioko's prospects moving forward. Also, quick point: is Utami's earring a zipper?
Yes.
Okay, okay, we can move on.
Okay, great. Um, our next match is for the Independent World Junior Championship. Tokyo Kuroshio Japan takes on Megaton.
You know
Uh,
what I could actually see happening, which would be kind of evil.
what?
Megaton wins,
Mm-hmm.
and then Jiro goes, "Wait a minute, let's get a scale out here. Come on."
Oh, that would be awful. No, they shouldn't
It
do
would
that.
be so evil. But I know they got a scale in the back. They fucking do it for the Superfly belts, for the Superfly matches. I saw it.
Mm.
I saw it. So no, that would be
Well, do you
evil.
think they didn't return that immediately?
It would also be really fun. Good point. It would also be really funny because like Megaton is a small human being, like
Yes.
just factually. So it would have to be worked is the problem. Um, that seems like a That seems like it'd be like a JD Star bit that they would just do to someone
Hmm.
just to be evil. Like that seems like a very 2000s, like Mean Girls era bit, just terrible. Um, I feel bad for even thinking of it, but
Okay.
I'm not the first person in Joshi wrestling to come across as fat phobic. I apologize. Um,
You're right.
but no, I think Megaton should win the belt.
Well, probably, but I feel like that runs against the her never winning thing that they've done. So
Yeah, but like she could just lose it
yeah,
to
but
like anybody.
no, but she's literally never won.
Yeah, it's gonna be her
Rockers
first
like
her
big
first win.
emos. I feel like they would have played it up more that she's never won.
It's a champ. It's a men's championship match.
Yeah.
I feel like this is the time.
I don't think so.
I think that she can win it, but ooh wait, she could win it by count out,
Okay.
and then
Yeah.
Jiro's like, nope, I want a rematch and beats her. Like I think that would be cool because I think it's very possible and very probable that Jiro walks away with the belt
Hmm.
on the show, but I would love a dusty finish where Megaton wins the belt
Okay.
in some way. I think that'd be really cool. I think a count out would probably be the smartest. Um, but yeah,
Well, either way, I think we'll have fun.
yeah, yeah.
Their other match was funny. Um, we have a 3D Trios Championship match in our next one. Mai Sakurai, Natsumi Suzuki, and Arina Yamanaka defend against Maya Utani, Victoria Yuzuki, and Komomo Minami. This is going to be a successful V1 for our champions because they have already been set up for the match with the Young'un trio. Um, there's definitely a chance that
Suzuki.
there's a winner coming out of this that challenges for one of the belts, either Arena or Komo or Shizuki could challenge after.
Yeah, and they can challenge either of them, really.
Yeah, I think the only issue with that is the schedule because after this they don't really run anything notable. I mean, I guess the 28th they run face. I don't know if I'd waste
I think that's a
Shizuki
super fly.
versus.
I think you can run Shizuki and Mayu as a big face match.
I feel like that's bigger than face.
I agree, but I don't think they do.
I don't know. I mean, Shizuki's been booked well since she came back.
Oh yeah.
Like you
Where
could do
where
Sapporo. They're running Sapporo on the 19th, but you'd be waiting an entire month. And I could definitely see Suzuki versus Yuzuki in Sapporo or something. Um, but it's difficult.
I think I hmm, I don't know. I don't know what I think.
Okay, that's good.
Maybe
Yeah.
Arena, maybe Arena just does her crazy fucking splash and and fucking smashes Komomo's nose, breaks
Please
it.
don't. I
Yeah,
don't
don't.
want that to happen.
I would feel bad. Yeah, don't do
Yeah.
that. But
Okay.
you never know.
Right. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens there because I could definitely see one of the titles being challenged for. I just don't know when or where they would do that because not running a lot of stuff this month that's of note. Um, they're not gonna burn one of those off for the shrine if they're doing a 3D match as well. But then we have our main event of the evening for the Twin Star Championship. Misa Matsui and Chiaki defend against Miko Iono and Koki. It is a very
So this
fascinating match.
this is a match that will, if they win, it'll get Chiaki and Matsui the defense record for the tag
Mhm.
belts.
I think they will. I don't see a world
I do
where
too.
Iono gets 2 belts. Um, do you think Iono challenges after? Because I feel like Iono versus, or no, sorry, Matsui. Do you think Matsui challenges after? Because you realistically could do that at Sapporo on the 19th.
Yeah, fuck
Because they're
you.
gonna run something in Sapporo, and
Oh
Matsui
my
is their
god,
favorite Sapporo fighter.
Misa Matsui with the seventh Sapporo title match and the seventh
He is their
loss.
favorite Sapporo fighter.
Oh my god, a modern day Saki Kashima.
I
Oh, oh man, yeah, I don't
mean,
know.
unless like Iono and Koki losing makes Koki challenge Iono, or Iono's like, you fucking stink, and Koki's
Maybe
like, no.
maybe one of the whites, whichever one of the whites they like, will pin Chikagoto and challenge for the fucking for a belt
I feel
at
like
the end of the match.
I feel like one of them will challenge Mayu for the GHC.
Yeah, that's true. That would
This
make
is I
sense.
want that to happen. I want Angel Hayes to wrestle Mayu for the GHC. Quite frankly,
I don't think anybody's challenged for the right belt after the show
I guess yeah, maybe not.
because I don't
Maybe
know
when
when.
Hayes do challengers because maybe Maddy can challenge for the Superfly, and then you run that in face, and
Yeah.
Hayes can challenge for the GHC.
Although no, I think if we were gonna do that, it would have been the main event. The trios match would have been the main event because they
Maybe.
don't usually like clearing out the fucking locker room for the semi main.
Well, it's
Uh,
only 3 of them.
yeah, but well, yeah, maybe. I don't know. I could see
Save
it.
comments.
Uh,
Maddy can challenge for the Superfly in like the backstage thing.
yeah, because yeah, I don't think anybody challenges Miku because, like you said, there's not really anything happening for until
6 weeks.
late April. Yeah. Um. Yeah. So I don't think there's much point in even teasing a red belt match yet,
Okay.
unless
Let's.
it's a Chiaki rematch, baby.
Oh God, maybe I don't
Which,
know.
hey, if Chiaki challenged Miku and said, "I want a fucking death match," fuck you, I'd be here for it. I mean, they wouldn't do it. Like that makes no sense,
They
and they
shouldn't. No.
they shouldn't. But it would be cool, and
Okay.
I'd be like, "Hey, that's beast. Good job."
Despite not sounding enthusiastic, this is definitely like the most I've been into a Marigold Corkin lineup in a while. Like I think it's
Which
top
is
to
so
bottom
funny
an interesting lineup that
because, like,
progresses a lot of stuff and it's just intriguing. You have
I
a
feel like we've
rookie.
had a couple of these over the past few months.
Oh,
We've
yeah.
had some shitters,
This has
but
like
we've had
4 notable matches at least, and then 3 more that are like interesting. I don't think there's been many with that kind of hit rate.
yeah, yeah. I'm tired.
Okay.
I'm
Yeah.
doing this an hour later, just so everybody knows. I like
Oh,
this
poor Dylan. Poor Dylan.
an hour later than I'm
It's only
used to.
midnight here. Only midnight.
Whose scheduling conflict was it that made us do this? By the way,
Mine.
you act
Yes.
like I'm making a conscious choice to
I
do this
just
at
don't want to hear
late
you
at night to
complaining
fuck
about being
you
tired.
over.
I am tired. I'm always tired.
I also okay. To
Um.
be fair, I also usually drink an energy drink on Wednesdays, and I did not, so I am
Wow.
just like tired.
Crazy.
Actually, I've had zero caffeine today.
Um. Yeah, it's good Margot Corkin. I can't even praise Margot without you getting mad at me, which is insane. You're just like no. Um,
No, I agree. I
it
think this
feels
is
very
one of the more
unfair.
interesting in recent
This
memory
happened in
because
the group
I think
chat too. I was like, "Oh, this is the most interesting Cork," and at least 2 of you were like, "No, it's not. There's been better ones." And I was like, "Dude,
I don't. I'm not saying that I think there's been better ones, but I think there have been ones that have been like pretty similar, pretty close to
no,
being
I
as
don't think
interesting
so."
on paper.
When was the last one with 4 notable matches?
Marigold.
Yeah, we're doing this. I'm standing on business here.
1, 2. Oh,
Mm-hmm.
no, because I watched this split up. Hold on.
4 notable matches means either a singles match or a title match. Like a special singles match.
Okay, hold on. Chill out.
It's definitely been a
Uh,
while.
it, it, yeah, no, it wasn't Icon Forever.
No, it wasn't.
Uh,
It wasn't December either with the Twin Star Cup.
fuck you.
It
I don't
was
want to talk about
November.
this Cup.
Do not think it was November either.
You know how mad that makes me feel.
I do. I'm just basking in being correct.
Mm. Wait. Oh, wait. Yeah. Wait. Literally last. Wait. What the fuck are you talking about? Literally the last Gorkin. It was fucking the 3D match. 1. It was Mayu versus Rin special singles. 2. Izuki versus Chikagoto. 3. Miko Ono versus Chiaki. 4. Fuckhead.
Okay. All right. You got me.
And a really good fucking well, on paper it ended up being like fine.
Yeah, no,
A
see, it's
really
the
good
undercard that really wins this one over that one.
huh?
It's the undercard that beats that one. This
Yeah,
undercard
no,
way better.
because I was gonna say Sari and Shino versus Yuka and Komomo Nami was solid, but it was a bit underwhelming. But on paper, very good.
Okay. All right. I'll let you have this one. You got lucky.
Oh, I got lucky. It was the
You
most
did get lucky.
recent fucking
You did
Corkin.
get lucky.
He said this is too weak. Nobody should come to this show. It's not a holiday. Nobody
No,
would
I
have if
didn't. I
it wasn't.
said that. No, I didn't. My complaint about that show was they announced the card very late, and Marigold does not have that liberty. They need to sell tickets. That was what I said about
I'll,
that show.
I'll teach you something about liberty.
Okay. We have another show to preview, and then we can go home.
We do. Oh, we were going home now.
On the on the 15th, Marigold's in the Sun Pearl Arakawa. We open with rookie AI versus Naoshikawa. I swear to God, if Naoshikawa loses to another rookie, I will do unspeakable things.
It would be really funny. I don't think she will. I think this is
I hope
comeback starts now. NAO.
okay. Komomanami versus Megaton versus Yuki Yamazaki. Dear Lord, help us. We then have Natsumi Suzuki and Arina Yamanaka taking on Koki and Nagisa Tachibana. Arina is basically a full timer now. So
Yeah, I adore Arina Yamanaka. I'm happy
yeah,
she's around.
dude, her and Shozuki as a team, hell yeah. They're gonna win. They're gonna beat Tachibana, I would assume.
Yeah,
Okay. Mika
everybody
Goto.
everybody in this match is serving. By the way.
Yes, they are.
Also, I want to note one more thing. Uh, Shozuki's braids not offensive. I don't like the color, but she can do braids. Like
Yeah,
I think they
that's
look
true.
fine. If they weren't 3 different fucking color, like I don't like. I don't know, but not like because that's something that got brought up with the Yuria with her terrible braids. By the way, today, um,
I hate the frizzy braids.
yeah, some of them just don't work. Some of them
Mm-hmm.
do, and it depends on the person too. Like I don't think Yuria inherently can't rock braids, but like the braids she has right now look really bad. I think Yuzuki cannot rock braids, frankly. I think they look bad on her.
Oh, yeah,
Period. Um,
agreed.
and yeah, snap, snap, snap. Um, yeah, we can move on. Enough
Okay.
braids.
Yes. Mika Rano and Hummingbird take on Shino and Seria Miyoka.
Okay.
Um,
Okay.
Hummingbird is staring at the lights.
Yes.
That's gonna be a fun match.
This seems like a fun one. I mean, she's gonna beat the
Well,
fuck
if
out
you know
of her.
the bad team stuff's being bad.
Yeah, and
But
she.
Shino and Aono could carry. Um, very intriguing tag match. Mai Sakurai, Angel Hayes, and Maddy Morgan versus Misamatsu Ichiaki and Rei Seto. This is probably more where I would expect Morgan to like look good if she's going to. I think Matsui is
Turn
maybe
Matsui.
one of the people who can keep up, and I think Rhea could like base for her well enough. So this will be a match where I think Morgan can show more for good stuff. But yeah, Maya is really thrown in there with those two. It's kind of intriguing. Our main event then is the Chikagoto homecoming match. Utami Hayashishita and Chikagoto take on Maya Iwatani and Victoria Yuzuki. The hometown girl is going to lose once again. But this will be a very good match.
Yeah.
Yeah. That
Poor
all?
Chico.
Okay. Yes.
I think that'd be fun. I think this looks like a fun show too.
Yeah. No, it's a good week. And yeah, Marigold is done until the 20th. But they're not really doing much of note until the 28th. So, with that, we're done. Unless you have any closing remarks.
Uh, no, not really.
Okay.
I got a bunch of cookies to make.
That's cool.
Yeah, I actually because I haven't been able to write lately, just mentally. I think it's because I'm working more, so like when I'm not working, I'm just like I don't really want to write.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so that kind of sucks. But instead, I've been baking and cooking a lot
That's
more.
cool.
That's been my hobby lately. I made ice cream, homemade ice cream, um, from Kingdom Hearts.
Mm,
Yeah, sea salt ice cream,
okay.
blue popsicle ice cream, really good. I made it. I ate too much because I was so proud of myself. Like I made them so well, they were so good that I ate like four of them and I got really sick. But they were really good, and the other people who had them did not get sick. So it was just my fault that I ate too much and not that they were bad, which I was happy about. Um, yeah, you know, I've been cooking in the kitchen.
Okay. Well,
1738. Hey.
um, well, yeah, with that, it's time to close the show. So, if you want to stand, you may stand. If you want to sit, you may sit. Believe today, shine tomorrow. You decide what you believe in.
Shine forever. Stardom Quest Goldo. Passion.
Pasha, Ijo.